Alright, what's going on, guys? So I just wanted to do a very quick update as to what's being done to the Evo. In the last video we saw that the engine and transmission were inside the car. Well, now the engine and transmission are completely out, as well as the axles. So all the major components that made this car run are completely out of the car. No turbo system, as you can see, nothing on the engine, no transmission, and also the axle, half the axle was taken, or half the drive shaft was taken out too. So, just to kind of give a very quick update with where I'm at in the process of getting the engine built, transmission built, turbo kit built. So, as of right now, the engine I took a break on because it's going to be built with cast iron sleeves, and I was thinking if it's going to be built and if it's going to sit there for a little bit of time inside a friend's garage, I don't really want to have rust built in the motor. I just want it to be built, given to me, and then dropped into my car. So that's where I really have to take a time with the engine. I said, let's just order all the parts and then get them at the place that's building it, MazWorks, and then finally I can just drop off my engine and they can finish the build process. But as of right now, since that's on hold with, I'll pay the labor later on for the engine, the transmission is one thing that is going to be built next. And that's okay if it sits down, or it's okay if the transmission sits inside of a garage for a little bit of time. I already talked to Shep Trans. They said they can put some extra grease inside the transmission. As long as it stays covered and kept within the box, I think it'll be completely okay. Finally, the engine will be built, the turbo kit will be built. And another thing I forgot to mention in the last video, Mad Scientist Motorsports is actually going to be doing my fuel system. Mike with Mad Scientist Motorsports, I already discussed a lot of stuff with him. He's actually going to handle the surge tank setup that I'm doing with two 450 Walbro fuel pumps, as well as an AEM fuel pressure regulator, adjustable fuel pressure regulator, and then I'm going to keep the 2150cc fuel injectors, and finally I'm doing an AMS fuel rail. So a lot of other components are going to be considered with the fuel system. And finally, when I actually get my hands on more components with the transmission as well as fuel system, I'll explain more in detail as to why those parts are crucial, just so everyone can really be on the same page. If you want to make high horsepower, there has to be parts and other components that contribute to guaranteeing and sustaining that high horsepower. Not to where you just build the motor, transmission, throw it in the car, and now the car is going to be down later down the road as components start to wear down and break because they weren't completed the first time around. So stay tuned for more future videos. Please like, comment, and subscribe to make sure to stay tuned and up to date with this build.